let me back up with you one step, because you wrote something that I thought was really interesting. You've said that the true population of transgender individuals is zero. So I want to talk to you about this because I was always told by people I trusted and I always read that there is a very, very, very small subset of the population that has genuine gender dysphoria basically from birth. You know, they know by the time they're 3 years old, I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I really feel like I'm a member of the opposite sex. And those people are not people who at age 16 suddenly say, yeah, I'm trans, when really they're just socially awkward. They're people who their earliest memories are of feeling I'm in the wrong body. And we've accepted those people as genuinely gender dysphoric. They say they're transgender, and then they go and they have all the operations. So explain that claim that there really are that the transgender population is zero.
Well, I don't doubt that some people, from a young age have complicated or even negative feelings about their sexed body. There's a condition called body identity integrity disorder, where people feel like one of their limbs does not belong to them. It's usually a lower extremity, like a leg or a foot. And they feel so insistent on this that they've actually taken it upon themselves to try and cut it off. So far, we haven't made a habit of cutting off limbs of these people, right? And we haven't celebrated this as an identity. We don't have any modeling agencies for them. We don't have any makeup lines for them. We don't put them on the cover of magazines or put them in TV shows as positive lifestyle representation, because it's considered a disorder, a disordered thinking. Now, and in terms of children that have this, this sense that, they don't like their bodies, this is a very, very minuscule part of the population. And it's being used, as is intersex conditions and other issues, to further along this narrative that sex is a spectrum, And, it's a horrible thing that children are being used in this way, but they have to have the transgender child in order to substantiate the transsexual male and his fixation on owning womanhood. Because you can't sell that to the public as a positive. So you have to have the transgender child. And the transgender child is a legal construct, as is the transgender adult. It's a legal construct. In 2000, I don't even remember the year, but in the span of a few years, in mid 2000s, you had George Soros' Open Society Foundation made a legal guide for basically manifesting the transgender child. And Arcus Foundation also funded another guide for sort of bringing legal structure to this, to children. And who was the other one? Denton's law firm helped create, which is like one of the largest law firms in the world, international law firms in the world, did pro bono work to create legal structure for transgender children. If the medical industrial complex, 50 years ago had heard about children, wanting to disown their sex, I'm sure that they would have been manipulating them a whole lot sooner. This is a legal construct. It's not real. So transgenderism is just not real. It doesn't mean anything. It's an umbrella term that brings in all of these different issues, and it's incoherent, which is why they don't want anybody to talk about it, because if you start talking about it, it just breaks apart. And so their response to, well, let's discuss this, is no debate, no debate. Our reality is not up for debate.
Affirm.
But in fact, your reality is not reality at all. reality is the natural world. That's about as real as you can get. What
Can you
goes up must
expand
come
on
down.
what you said about this is part of this is rooted in men's desire to own womanhood, women?
Well, transvestic fetishism. I mean, it started out as men that wanted to dress as women for a sexual compulsion. It wasn't very popular and it wasn't accepted in society, certainly. They had to do this in private. And so they did, and they made groups. And eventually one of these groups started in the UK, and this man named Martin Rothblatt joined. He's an American entrepreneur, lawyer who's owned a pharmaceutical corporation. He's written about the on-ramp of transgenderism to transhumanism. He's written about the future of technological usurpation of human reproduction, taking it to the tech sector. He's made a robot of his wife and thinks he's instilling her consciousness in the robot. And he got together with these other transvestic and transsexual lawyers in the UK and created legal structure to make the transgender person, the transsexual person, to give it legal weight. Now, these are just people that want to disown their sex, for whatever reasons they want. I mean, this group wanted to disown it because they have this compulsion. And this compulsion, fetishes usually escalate. They don't usually stay in one spot. I have this fetish and this is the fetish, and that's how it usually escalates. And this industry is also, this transsexual industry, has also been driven by the porn industry, because porn objectifies women sexually. And the industry of porn brought, women's sexual objectification into the home. And this happened at a time when the first man had the first transsexual surgery in the United States. I don't know if he had the surgery here, but he was American, and I think he had it somewhere else when he came back, Christine Jorgensen, and he was celebrated, in the culture for this. And so these two incidents happened within a year of each other. This surgery, the first surgery in America to be popularized, and then the industry of the porn industry, magazines being delivered right to your home, so you don't have to go to some seedy little, back room in a store, to watch porn, to see porn, right? You could just invite it into your home. Now this becomes a billion dollar industry, and the porn needs to escalate in order for men to continue to be aroused by it. So the old porn, 1970s porn, gets pushed out into the culture. And, like Megyn the Stallion, you can watch her writhe around and do sexual antics and stuff on a music stage. So that's that's the old porn. It's pushed out into the culture. And now, the actual porn just becomes more and more degrading and debasing and humiliating for women. And young boys can now watch this on the flip of a phone.
Finding an honest doctor that is not following in the footsteps of big pharma can feel impossible. That's why millions of men and women have turned to one Texas doctor and the 7 reasons he said anyone over the age of 50 should be drinking this one thing. It's not milk or another calcium-rich drink. It is a unique protein that naturally declines with age and can significantly increase bone strength and soothe joint pain. He says it can minimize wrinkles and cellulite too. What? Not to mention enhance hair follicle thickness and even reverse nail damage. What is it? Users report results in as little as 2 weeks. Now, this guy's offering viewers up to 45% off his bone, joint, and ligament restoring formula at nativepath.online/MK. Nativepath.online/MK. It has thousands of 5-star reviews, over 4 million jars of this stuff sold. Every order comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee, right? So try it for yourself. And then you can get your money back if you're not totally satisfied. Megyn Kelly viewers and listeners can visit nativepath.online/MK to get up to 45% off while supplies last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.